So the new Red Zone's out. Now, I'm not... Okay. Spoilers. Spoilers. I have been trying for longer than I'd like to admit to do Majin Power. And have had the worst luck ever. So what we're just gonna do instead is we're just gonna beat it first. And then worry about doing the missions. And I'll do them on my own time. Again, I don't have the new Majin Power characters. So I can't just like waltz in here with them and beat it. Right? Like the new Evil Buu, the new Majin Buu, and then the Exchange Buu Easy, which drops on the 2nd. I don't got that. Right. But we're just gonna beat it normally. And I'll talk about it as we move forward. This fight is very gimmicky. All the enemies have domain abilities. Right. For instance, Yamu and Spopovich here. As you can see, we take damage at the beginning of the turn based on Yamu's HP. It's kind of quirky. Spopovich does about 1,000,000 damage on a super attack. Yamu lowers your attack and defense by a little bit. Nothing crazy. Their defense is really low. They have about... Everyone is sitting in like the 60% damage reduction range in this fight. Somewhere between like low 60s to high 60s. So it's not like they're uber tanky, but they're not complete squishy. Like they're kind of squishy, but they're not like you just instantly one-shot them squishy, depending on like what you're using. Right? It's just a very gimmicky fight, and I've had like the worst luck possible on every single one of the Majin Power runs, which is one of the missions for this stage. If you want to know all the missions, there's so many missions for this stage. It's Majin Power, right? And then Kamehameha. Again, these are full teams. Full Kamehameha, full Majin Buu Saga, full Rainbow Team within 6 turns without using any items, and then with in 7 turns with a full Int team. Not sure how anyone's gonna do the full Int team, just because there really hasn't been a whole lot of Int characters recently. Actually, I mean, you got the new Ginyu, you got Topo Pride Troopers, you got Int Gotenks, you got Int Majin Buu. That's pretty much it, and then Int Blue Evolution Vegeta. Right? Those are like your options for Int characters. So, not sure how full Int is gonna really go into this. Int as a typing isn't even really that good of a typing. So... someone will find a team to make that one work. But that one's an EX mission, so you really don't have to do that one if you really don't want to. Right, it gives you 3 of the pink skill orbs if you really want it, and a sticker if you complete all the missions. So, I mean, that's the thing, I guess, if you really want to. Yippee. But you're mainly going to want to, like, Kamehameha and Majin Buu Saga, those ones get the stones. Right. Against Pui Pui and Yakon, they also have a bunch of gimmicks that I will go ahead and talk about in a second here once we get our rotations all going. So, for Pui Pui and Yakon, his entire gimmick is if you hit him with, what is it, it's a Ki Blast, right? Yeah, so he gets attack and defense every single turn, 3% up to 30, and then he gets 30% defense with every single Ki Blast he eats, which is kind of interesting. Pui Pui, he greatly lowers your defense on his super attack effect, which does a little under 1,000,000. They both do a little under 1,000,000 damage on the super attacks. And then he also has greatly increased attack and defense for the turn. So he does over 1,000,000 damage. Alright. So, interesting little gimmicks. Again, if you hit Yakon with a key-based super attack, he will be doing more damage to you. Which is interesting to me. I think that's a cool little mechanic. Doesn't make him very tanky, but like tanky enough to maybe live another super attack. Playing this event now with a real team instead of Majin Power, without the new Majin Power characters, is such a night and day difference. Like, this is kind of ridiculous how much easier it is. What I'm gonna do, I think, Also, since there's so many AoE enemies in here, you can do this and actually get value out of it. Out of it being an AoE, which is pretty cool. I'm not gonna go crazy with the taunts just yet, because I think Beast Gohan is more than strong enough to eat all of this. This Dabura is an interesting enemy. He has a 100% chance to stun, by the way. This is a guaranteed stun. So Beast Gohan's gonna get stunned from that. Nothing you can do about it. But Dabura, he also gets attack and defense every single time he attacks. This lowers your defense by 40%, by the way. He also gets 20% attack and defense if he has a certain ally present, which is Babidi, right? So you want to kill Babidi first. That's like your main goal here, because Dabura will get significantly weaker if you kill Babidi, which is interesting, right? And then Babidi also has a 70% chance to randomly change your key spheres. It's nothing that game-breaking, but it is an interesting little mechanic for him, right? We should be able to one-turn this. I don't see us having a problem with this team. With Majin Power is a bit of a struggle because he had a couple units that were just weak because I don't have the new ones yet. Right, there's 3 Majin Power buffs that are coming. One being the new Fat Buu, the new Evil Buu from the new banner, which I have not summoned on at all, so I couldn't possibly have them. Right, and then Tech Exchange Buu. Right, all of those are Majin Power buffs that you could have going into this fight for that mission that I just don't have yet. So I can't. No, obviously I can't use them. Right. But after that, right? What am I saying? With a real team, this is not hard. With Majin Power, it's gonna get buffed soon. You're gonna be able to beat the mission. Majin Buu Saga and then Kamehameha, I don't think will be very hard. Again, because the new boss are really crazy. But this fight is kind of quirky. Now we're moving into the Babidi and Fat Buu. Now this one does about 1.5 million damage and changes orbs. That's pretty much it. So we're gonna be popping all the Team Protector mechanics. Right, to ensure no funny business. And we're probably just gonna end up tearing through this guy. Don't really see us having too much of a problem with this specific team setup. Just because, like, the superhero 9th anniversary team is really, really strong, right? I don't have the other Gammas. They would definitely help. They're another int character that just dropped, so, like, you might be able to use them. I think your best bet is a full int special pose team. I don't know what the lower tier options of that are gonna be, but that has the most int characters on it recently. So maybe you can get some use out of that, right? But for the most part, like, this team is just kind of easy. Majin Power is just kind of lackluster without the new characters that literally just dropped, as I keep saying. But on Global, this is probably going to be a lot harder than it is on JP. Because JP, you just use these 9th anniversary characters and there's literally no match for this. My buddy has been sending me constant screenshots of him losing against Super Buu in the next fight. I haven't looked at his stats yet, so I don't know how hard he is. But he does have an AoE super attack. I do know that for a fact. He has an AoE super attack. But I'm sure it's not too bad. Just use a giant form or something. And you'll be aight. But pretty swift match there with an actual team. In and out. Clearing the stage. Don't gotta do any fancy business. Just gotta clear the stage. I'll go in there with Majin Power on my own accord and beat it without the worst luck ever imaginable. Because God was my luck terrible. Like, it was so bad. But we are going to clear this, grab our ticket, and move on to Super Buu. That's it for this video. Let me know what teams you guys used to beat them in the comments down below. Let me know how you feel about the Red Zone as well. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next one.